Next to the Great Pyramid of Giza, there is a hole in the ground. No sign, no handrails. If you stand at the edge and look down, it is just black. 30 meters, 3 levels down. A 10-story building upside down going into the earth. You climb down. Ladders bolted to the rock. One of them rusted through, barely holding. The air gets heavier. Each step takes you further from the sun, level by level, deeper into something that has not seen light in millennia. You reach the deepest chamber, and you realize you are not standing on the floor. You're standing on top of a coffin, a stone sarcophagus, underwater, thousands of years. No one knows why it is there, and no one knows who is inside. Welcome to Mosaic Antiquity. 6 meters down, the first chamber. Dry mud brick walls, 4 meters wide, 10 meters long, smaller than a bedroom. It looks like a tomb, but not for anyone important. Egyptians built tombs that told the world who was inside. Names, titles, prayers. This one has nothing. No name on the walls, no offerings. Nothing to say whose body was meant to lie here. 12 more meters down, 18 meters total in the second chamber, 5 meters by 8. The walls are sweating. Water stains creeping up. 8 niches carved into the rock, and 2 of them, granite sarcophagi. One of them is blocking a passageway barely wide enough for a person. A corridor leading east, toward the Sphinx. From the 4th niche, a shaft drops again. 2 meters wide, cut straight through solid rock. No bricks, no plaster, just raw rock carved out by hand. You climb down into a hall. A lake, a rectangular platform once held 4 stone columns, now collapsed. And on that platform, half-submerged, a sarcophagus. 10 tons of granite. The water has risen since it was placed here. Only the head of the lid breaks the surface. Black water, still, reflecting nothing. Who does this belong to? Not a pharaoh. His name would be everywhere, not a queen. The tomb is too strange. Not a priest. Priests of Egypt were buried in simple graves. Not 30-meter shafts next to the largest structure ever built by human hands. So who? In 1999, Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most famous archaeologist, decided to find out, but the shaft was not unknown before him. It was first excavated in the 1930s by the Egyptian archaeologist Selim Hassan. He cleared the 3 levels. He documented the sarcophagus, and then he sealed it back up. The mystery sat underground for 60 more years. In 1999, Hawass lowered a camera into the water. Then he brought in pumps. 3 days to drain the lower chamber. He found bones, fragments of pottery, nothing to explain what the coffin was doing there. And the sarcophagus itself, underwater again the moment the pump stopped. He published his findings, called it a cenotaph of Osiris, a symbolic tomb for the god of the underworld. But here's the thing, a cenotaph is empty. This coffin is sealed. Osiris was not just the god of the dead. He was the god who died and came back, dismembered, resurrected, and someone built a sealed tomb for him next to the pyramids, 2,000 years after they were built. A sealed box of granite for a god who returned from the dead. Case closed, right? Wrong. Here's what Hawass did not emphasize. The shaft was not built with the pyramids. The pyramids were already 2,000 years old when someone cut this hole. 2,000 years. That is the gap between the pyramids and this tomb. That is the gap between Cleopatra and you. The pyramids were already covered in sand, already ancient ruins. Roman tourists carved their names into the stones. And someone in that late age came back, dug 30 meters straight down through solid bedrock, lowered a granite coffin into the water, sealed it. The people who built this were not the pyramid builders. They were late period Egyptians living under foreign rule. The pyramids were already history to them, and they picked this exact spot, next to the Great Pyramid. Not inside it, right beside it, as if they wanted someone to find it, as if they wanted someone to ask why. Why? The coffin has no inscription. Not one mark. This was not an oversight. Every Egyptian coffin carried the name of its owner. Every tomb was labeled. This one was left blank on purpose. Someone did not want the world to know who lay inside. And there is something else. On the east wall of the lowest chamber, there is a narrow opening. A corridor barely wide enough to crawl through. It leads 20 meters east to a vault so small you cannot turn around. No one can explore it. Hawass reportedly once sent a boy inside to see where it leads. The boy got stuck. They had to pull him out by his legs. The corridor was cut through solid rock. The people who made it must have crawled on their stomachs in darkness to dig it. No one knows why. Nothing else like this exists in Egypt. The only other tomb of Osiris is at Abydos. It is a vast open hall, completely different, which means this shaft is not a copy. It was built this way on purpose. So here's what we know. A shaft 30 meters deep next to the most famous monument on Earth. A stone coffin. One piece of granite, sealed for over 2,000 years. Water that rises and falls with the seasons. And underneath it, a network of tunnels cut by people who crawled in darkness. The Egyptian government has not allowed further excavation. The pyramids were already ancient when someone came back to build this. They chose this spot with care. They lowered a stone box into water that never drains. And they made sure nobody would ever know why. A coffin with no name. Built next to the pyramids for a god who came back, with tunnels below that no one has explored. The pieces are all there, they just do not add up. The pyramids are not the mystery. The mystery is who came back, and what they were trying to hide in a place that cannot be forgotten. Next time, a 3,600-year-old bronze disk, gold-shaped into the sun, the moon, and the stars. The oldest known map of the night sky. Who made it, and why was it buried? Subscribe to Mosaic Antiquity. We'll see you there.